Oh, by the way.
Oh, yes, they are.
Today the drink of choice is the Dark and Stormy with the 24-hour rum-soaked fresh pineapple. And
there they are.
And I say cheers to that, baby.
What's that? You get Gosling's black rum, and you get ginger beer, very, very strong. And you put them together in a glass with ice. But in this case, we added the 24-hour steeped fruit. All right, so we're on a Sunsail 384.
You want your sunglasses, baby?
There's the deck. See, that's where the mainsail goes when it's down. And that red thing is the furled jib. You saw that, a little bit of that earlier. This is how we walk around. Here's the bathing beauties up here on the trampoline. You'll see a lot of these on these yachts. Young, beautiful women passed out on the trampoline. These two things here hold the bumpers and ropes.
Should we give the camera a quick sneak?
Yeah.
What really goes on in the bowels of the boat?
Am I in your
See,
way?
that's where our shower water is, that green tank, and that's where the bumpers are and the boat hook and stuff. That's the windlass, that little thing on the wire there. Well, let's pull out the windlass. Show them everything.
Let's show them the controls.
The windlass drops the anchor. We've only used
just
that.
in case we need to operate. This is our remote control to the windlass.
Oh yeah, we got a remote. Because we're men. And then there's more water tanks in this other one. We don't really need to look into that. What else do we have to tell about the boat? Top speed on this trip was what, 8.2 knots, 8.3?
This is where it all goes down with the main.
This is the worst part of the...
This is the balls of the balls. We raised the big one. All the way up there.
That mast has to be pulled all the way up, and now it's under load because there's wind blowing against it. And you know, if your captain can't keep the boat straight into the wind, it becomes really difficult to pull up. And it gets hung on those wires up there. But Mike, that's Mike. Mike is you. Oh, you met Mike before. That's right.
Yeah.
And Dingy Girl.
And Dingy Girl, also known as Karen, who has gas.
Lots of it. I cannot drink another beer, guys. I'm already ripping them. One beer, ripping them. It's time to move to the rum.
All right, so let's see. A little recap. Sunday we went to Anegada, and we hooked up cable for the Jets game.
That's right.
And then I caught the bug that's going around the boat. Had a fever, didn't feel too good. Went back at halftime and spent the whole next day on the boat feeling sick. But a couple of days and the fever's passed, and then somebody else got it. Karen got it this morning, but she's a trooper. She's doing great. Laura had a bad cold at the beginning of the trip. She's feeling great now, so we're all finishing up nice. I think June's about done with her cold. Of course, Captain Chris has never been sick a day in his
miraculous.
life.
Yeah. I got to attribute that to the right combination of beer and fine spirits.
They went across the island in Anegada, excuse me, and had a great time and came back a little bit happy. Happy would be the term?
Yeah,
because God knows no one got drunk on this boat. But that was quite a sight. And then we went from there over to Joost van Dyke. What was our first stop there?
That would be
Diamond this was
K.
the best spot. Diamond K was the best for... I felt better.
Yeah, we went to Diamond K, and it's an area in between Little Yost and Big Yost.
Now, is that strip where those huge waves came through, is that where the Atlantic meets the Caribbean?
No, that's
Some
just where
girl,
the Caribbean meets the Caribbean.
Yeah, but through that gap.
That's
and
right.
It was just, we may have gotten pictures of that.
Oh, we did go to,
really cool
while we were
rollers.
there, we went to the bubbling pool.
The bubbling pool was so cool. You walk along these paths that are filled with wild goats, and you climb over some rocks and then down some rocks, and you get to this spot where the waves crash through a small gap, and there's a sandy bottom, and you just sit there, and the waves kind of crash over you, and they look tremendous. They don't knock you over. It was super fun, wasn't it?
That was great. That was great. That was our European spa for the day.
Yes, our European spa. It's a little windy here, so we might get a lot of wind noise. Oh, that's better. Winds have been good, between 12 and 20 knots.
Yeah.
Boat speed's been pretty good, consistently between 6 and...
Yeah. Zipped along here about 7.5 knots this morning.
Yeah, 8.3 maybe was our high, something like that. 8.2. We had a crazy Ivan situation where the autopilot would suddenly turn the boat around. And at first we thought it may have been, well, Chris thought it was something I did, and I insisted it was not. And then he said, well, why didn't you do something? So that was funny. We had some fun with that. And then we had, then we decided it was the autopilot trying to go upwind when the wind dropped. And then Chris was sailing from Anegada over to Joost van Dyke, and he lost steering, which we found problematic. And he and Mike found a bolt was missing on the thing that controls the rudder, and they fixed it in the ocean, and we got into port.
And don't forget how he brought us extra propane.
Yeah, well then, Chris got through to a guy at Sunsail, and Gun showed up. I said, Gun? That's an interesting name. Is that short for something? He says, nope, just Gun. And he was very businesslike. He was jumping down into that engine compartment like...
Bare feet.
Bare feet, like it wasn't hot. And he helped get us back centered up. I would say, he would say, all right, turn the wheel. And I say, which way? He'd always say, other way, other way. No matter which way I turned, it was always the other way.
The other way.
The other way. But we got it all situated, and he now relaxed a little bit, and he goes, yeah, I was with my girlfriend in St. Martin, and I danced about 40 straight songs with the band, and then they took a break, and I danced 10 more songs. It was really, he turned into, oh, you're never going to be able to hear this because of all the wind. I'm going to go in the back. Hang on. This is a good story. Gun was fun. Turn it around so you can see. That's how we walk around the boat. So before we went to Anegada, by the way, I jumped off the boat at, where was that stone where we got water?
Oh, Saba Rock.
So we went to Saba Rock, which is a really cool place. It's a tiny little rock. It's got a restaurant out and water and gas and stuff. And I jumped off to tie up the bow mooring line, and a little while later I noticed there was blood all over the dock. Thank God it wasn't coming from me. Well, it turns out it was. I shredded my big toe. And then later I slipped on coral in Joost van Dyke and shredded the same big toe with coral in a different spot. So it's been the trip of the big toe. All right, so back to Gun. What was his other good story? Oh yeah, so he said he danced 40 songs with the band. They took a break. He danced for 10 more. And then he said his wife got tired, and women went up to her and said, "Can we dance with your husband?" And I danced with 3 of them, and they got tired. And I danced with 3 more of them, and they got tired. So he was quite the dancer. Gun. What else did he have to say? He had one other good story. You remember? It doesn't matter.
Did you tell how proud you were of your dinghy? You got on and...
No, so over here, Laura and I both managed to gracefully exit the water and get into the dinghy without help from a third party actually in the dinghy. We were both very impressed with that. So, Joost van Dyke, we went to the famous Soggy Dollar bar.
Right.
That was a blast.
And they have this game where it's a very simple game. You take a ring on a piece of string and you try to swing it and get it on a hook that's on the tree. It's very difficult to do, but it's really rewarding when I was the first one to get it. And Laura's competitive edge kicked up and she got it. And Karen got it. And then I saw this guy trying to do it backwards off his forehead. So you'd line it up behind you and you'd put the ring here and you'd go like that, and it would swing and hook. And he kept trying but missing. I said, "Do you mind if I try?" Third try, I got it. So
That's one hell of a forehead you got there.
I got a big head. Jack, you'll enjoy that story because you have a big head too, buddy. What else? What other stories do we have? Oh, so the Soggy Dollar Bar is called that because boats, the beach is really, really steep, so huge boats get right to the edge of it, and then people jump off and swim up, and they have soggy dollars. Oh, the bartender there was OT, Old Timer, also known as Nick. No, Mick, excuse me. And every time he finished a bottle, emptied a bottle, he had an elaborate empty bottle demonstration that I won't show for you now here. But we'll remember that for sure. What else do we have to recap, Chris? The bubbling pool was the highlight, I think, for Laura and me so far. All right, well, we'll talk to you again later. You have anything to add?
No, I think that's about it for now.
We're getting ready.
We're getting ready for the finale sale.
Yeah.
Going up the Francis Drake channel. We've got wonderful winds today, somewhere in the 18 to 22 knot range. So we will be moving. Looking forward to it, and we'll recap when we get back in the harbor.
Yes, and I'm sorry, one last thing. And the thing we're looking forward to most is not raising the mainsail one more time after this one.
Yes.
Because that thing is tough.
Amen to that, sister, brother.